Room 13 was empty. Something still knocked back. I don't see that for drama. The booking system lists the room as vacant. The key card already shows. Nobody opened it. After 11:42 p.m., the hallway 看满猴子的桌人反应反安慰。No silhouettes, no luggage, no late night stumble. And yet, at 1:13 a.m. The door answered a knock that never touched it. Bangkok rain doesn't fall so much. It's a press down wall, relentless, loud enough to turn conversation into guesses. The lobby smelled of disinfectant trying to bully out the river's breath. The air conditioning ran cold, but the air stayed wet, like humidity had learned to hide inside machines. The clerk slid Mikey across the counter and looked past my shoulder when he said, 13th floor. It's open tonight. Not available. Not ready. Open. Like a mouth. The elevator wish. A small room pretending it wasn't. Mirror wall. Same as rail. 把板盘 over 点。拿去抽什么东西？上摸到。One replaced recently. The number 13 button. Was there, but the plastic around it looked newer. Like someone had once removed it. And I'm regretting the honesty. When the doors opened, the corridor didn't greet me. It absorbed me. 小点埋楼西林来自摊子咖啡特西克里滩 The hallway stretched. Too far for the building's footprint. Every door had the same G-brass handle, the same. People, the same black screwed on to Charlie. The air smelled like wet fabric left. In the back, I chose a room neighborhood, not next to 1313. I wanted the building to relax around me first. Then I heard a knocking. Not on my door. Across the hall. A measured pattern. 3 taps. Pause. 1 tap. Pause. 3 taps again. Shuffled, like knuckles wrapped in cloth. Like someone trying not to be heard by anyone except the person they wanted. The guest opens his door down low. Corridor by feet. Sleep in his eyes. He raised his hand to knock back. 3 taps. The hallway waited. 1 tap bounced from nowhere specific. No echo, no direction. Then 3 taps followed, timed to the spacing of his breathing, as if the corridor had listened to his chest and learned the gap between inhales. He didn't laugh. He didn't call out. He just shut his door carefully, like he didn't want to offend something. My phone began recording audio. The moment the sound spiked, when I play it now, the waveform is wrong. The reply taps carry a thin, second layer under the texture that isn't word, not words. The shape of a voice pressed flat. Here's the paradox that made me stay. Most buildings here avoid 13. Disable it, hide it, rename it. This hotel preserves it like a shrine. The staff won't say why. The guests don't notice until they do. And once you notice, the building starts responding to you. I came from missing person rumors. A backpacker who tried in and never tried out. A couple who had a child they go through the wall of an empty room. A guard who refused to ride.
Safe this room. Let no evil
The elevator passed midnight. I didn't expect the door to answer a knock, but I have the incident log. I have the audio, and I have 6 minutes of CCTV when nothing moves. Shut the brass handle of room 1313.
This door shall not open.
Turning very slowly from the inside. as if an invisible hand was practicing how to be human. By daylight, the hotel looked ordinary glass, concrete, a lobby fountain meant to sound like nature.
Hold back the shadows.
That's the trick with places like this. They present just forgettable, show the wrong details stand out like bruises.
Bound by thread and fire, the 13th
At the entrance
gate
at the
is
security house,
sealed.
the small Thai shrine you've seen on sidewalks and construction sites. Fresh marigold garlands, a tiny ceramic elephant, a cup of water with a surface so still it looks sealed. The shrine wasn't tea decor. It was a contract and acknowledgement that the building stood on land with older owners. On the 13th floor, nothing was ever fully dry. The carpet felt cold and my chills for even a minute.
The offering turns.
When I lifted the corner near the baseboard, the padding underneath pushed down with a sponge. The smell wasn't rude.
With salt
It was sweet
and
and
thread,
turning sour,
the seal
like fruit
is
left in a
kept.
sealed cup.
Sweep away the shadows.
Housekeeping avoided the end of the hall. Not openly. they就是定那个 Their cards stop short. Their voices dropped. They cleaned quickly, eyes down, as if the walls were recording them. I asked the front desk, do you have a room 1313? The clerk looked at the monitor like it might punish him for answering. Then, yes, but no guest answer correct. Then why keep it? A polite smile. It is safe when it has a number. That was the first rule. The room is dangerous when unnamed. The second rule came from the night guard. His uniform was too thick for the climate, and his hands were always dry. 这是半夜的晚安。He walked the corridor with a flashlight he never turned on. If you hear knocking, he said, do not match it. Do not answer. Do not count. In my eyes, they want you to keep time for it.
Do not answer back.
Only then did I notice the lights. The flicker wasn't random. Every 13 seconds, a tiny dip burned brightened sharply. Like a blink of massive one waiting for it. The corridor breathing.
Celestial masters.
I
The
tested the
gateway is
elevator.
closed.
Floor 12
The
was one
spirits
smooth.
withdraw.
Floor 14 had scratches, like someone tried to carve it out. Floor 13 was too clean. The doors closed with a soft shudder that didn't match the motor sound, as if something inside the shaft had failed. On my third ride, a smell hit me the moment the doors opened mud. Not dirt. Riverbank mud, the kind that coats your fingers and stays even after you wash. The hallway was empty, with a set of white footprints across the tile near the elevator. Each print full and heavy, as if someone had stepped out of water and into it. The tile was dry. The footprints were not. They stopped at the stairwell door. The knob turned once, then the prints didn't drag and smeared and fade into evaporation. They simply disappeared, like a video cut. I stood there long enough to feel the presence. Pressure at the base of the skull. The sense that the air behind you has weight.
By incense smoke and
The lights held steady.
candlelight, we
No
seal
sound.
this door.
But the corner at the far
against
end of the
the
corridor
night.
looked darker than physical allowed, like the building kept a secret in plain sight. That night, I moved as close to 1313 as management would allow.
Let the cursed
I
path
placed the glass
begin.
against the shed wall
3,
and listened.
1, 3.
I didn't hear voices. I heard breathing slow, patiently on the other side faster. And then, right on schedule, the corridor blinked dim, dim, dim. 13 seconds. One of those blinks lasted too long. In that extra second of darkness, something knocked softly from inside the wall. After midnight, The building stopped pretending to be a hotel and started behaving like a system with goals.
Spirits heed the call.
1:12 a.m. I was awake. I finally was recording ambient sound. I had learned the corridors within 13 seconds between flicker jump. I wanted proof it wasn't in my head. 1:13 a.m. The first knock. It came from the wall, not the door. 3 taps. Pause. 1 tap. Pause. 3 taps. Polite. Patient.
The gate
Your request.
is sealed. The darkness holds
I did nothing.
13 souls.
I counted my own breath quietly so I wouldn't accidentally
Ancient
sink.
ones, hear our
不后我
player.
answered anyway. 1 tap.
Protect
A single touch shone my beyond my room, as if the corridor reached out with one finger. The air changed no temperature, density, like invisible syrup poured into the space. My skin prickled, then pressed down, as if brushed by something that wasn't wind. I made what was a kind of professional choice. I perfected for evidence. I
The
knocked back,
seal
but I
must
also touched.
hold. Do not listen.
2 taps. Pause. 2 taps so I could tell. Echo from intelligence. The reply came instantly.
By the power of the
2
talisman,
taps.
this door is
Pause.
sealed.
2 taps.
Evil spirits
Perfectly matched, same spacing, same force, same hollow tone as my knuckles on wood. Except I hadn't knocked on wood. I knocked on the bedside table. The building copied not just the rhythm, but the material. I needed access to the sound before I made it. I stopped. I held my breath.
words are said.
Outside, shuffled the squeak river on tile, wet and careful. 1 step. Pause. Another step.
Turn to the earth.
Each step carried a faint slap, as if the floor was coated in mortar. In the pause between eye blinks, a voice touched my ear. Not a sentence, not a clear whisper. Just the shape of language, a syllable that could have been my name, spoken by something I heard it once and practiced until it almost fades. That's a mimicry. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be close enough that your brain finishes the lie. I pressed my ear to the wall again. The breathing returned, but now it matched mine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, like a mirror that doesn't reflect faces only with them. The room felt smaller, as if the corners moved inward while I wasn't looking. Claustrophobia isn't just fear with tight spaces. It's a fear of being contained by something that means to keep you. I checked the people. The corridor was empty. Later, when I got access to the security footage, I watched myself at 1:13 a.m. Sit up, check the people, step back, and I watched something else. In the reflection of my room's TV screen, a distortion leaned forward from the wall. Not a shadow, like heat over asphalt. It moved in short jumps, as if frames were missing. When I turned on the lights, it vanished, but the recorder called one more knock. From inside my closet, 1 tap, not a request, a confirmation. I listened longer. In the corridor, the silence wasn't empty. It was loaded, like a paused recording
Let
waiting
the
for input.
spirits be bound.
A faint grunt followed itself rhythmic, like a fingernail dragged gently along wood. The damp air smelled briefly about you,
Caller,
then
bar
snapped
the
back to
way,
detergent,
keep the
as if
darkness
the building
locked away.
corrected itself. I did not open the closet. I only watched the doorknob. The next flicker of dim light, the knob shifted a millimeter, no twist. No, poor just a subtle repositioning, like something inside was learning where center should be. 相信 modes are survivable. You can follow them under unexplained and keep functioning. The moment something tries to wear you with lie, your instinct stops screaming because you recognize the mistake.
As the threads bind
2:06
and the
a.m.
seals
I
hold
love my room.
fast, let no
The knock from the
evil
cot
spirit
changed the
pass.
boundary. If we go down to my space, the hallway wasn't the edge anymore. The corridor smelled stronger than
Sealed
egg-like
by
carpet,
fire,
old
the
incense,
gate is
and faint
closed,
metallic
the
tan like
spirit
coins left in
retired.
water.
Seal the gate.
The sodium lights hummed.
Bind the
Each blink of
spirits.
dimness felt like an
Room
eyelid
13.
closing over the floor. I walked toward room 13. Under the firelight, someone stood with their back to me. A staff silhouette, slim shoulders, head tied back, head bowed toward the wall like they were reading something. Excuse me, I called. No response. I took 2 steps closer and stopped, because their posture didn't change like a person's posture changes. Their head lifted, but their shoulders followed a beat later, as if the movement arrived in separate pieces. They turned. The face was familiar, in the way a copied file is familiar close enough to
By the
recognize, long
power
enough
of
to
the
make your stomach drop.
seal.
The eyes didn't focus on me. They focused through me. The mouth held a polite line, but the corners twitched, trying to remember how to smile. Then the neck rotated to 方式没罪，靠面球，还就自着的难过的 fall mathematically wrong. Now broken, recalibrated. The figure stepped forward. The step wasn't a step. It was a step. That foot appeared ahead of where it should be. No transition. Jump. Closer. Like a corrupted video trying to pretend it was real time.
到这结
My band away.
束
Are you okay? The mouth opened.
By the
Static
spirits,
shaped into
by the
syllables.
earth.
Sir, it said, the sound slightly delayed on the lips. Please, return to room. The corridor blinked, dim. In a brief dark, the outline changed arms longer, torso narrower, then snapped back when the lights were turned. Now transformation,
Shadows,
adjustment.
path of night.
I turned toward the elevator.
Accept this
The
offering.
doors were
Stay
open.
your plight.
No one
seal
inside.
This place
The
with
panel
the 5
glowed.
elements.
And the button for floor
Evil
13 was
spirits.
pressed.
Turn back now.
I hadn't touched it. Behind me were its quick spacing steps closing distance. I should have entered the elevator and hit the lobby. The doors began to close. A hand appeared in the gap. Not a human hand. A hand-shaped suggestion. Too many knuckles. Fingers a little too long. Skin reflecting light like damp rubber. It didn't force the doors. It simply rested there, and the Shanti reacted as if the elevator respected it. The doors reopened. The corridor was empty again. But my phone vibrated with a new file I hadn't created, an audio recording named 1313. When I played it, I heard my own voice whispering from far away. Don't match it. And then, close to the microphone, a knock answered. As it moved, the floor and its feet stayed clean, yet a white sheen appeared for a second, a tile reflecting light like it had been freshly mopped. When I blinked, the sheen was gone. The figure blinked too, but not with both eyes. One leg dropped, then the other, a staggered motion, like a face was running on separate tracks. Somewhere down the hall, a dual chain rattled once, then went silent, as if someone in another room had decided not to look. By morning, I understood why the hotel kept spirit house at the entrance. Not to keep things out, to keep something satisfied. I asked for a room change, different adjacency, different angle. The clerk nodded too quickly, like he was grateful I didn't ask for reasons. As he handed me the meal tea card, he said, "If you smell incense, whether it's known, do not follow it." That became the third rule. I moved to a room directly beside 1313.
And thread,
The
we
brass
bind
plaque of
the
the ordinary,
restless dead.
but the paint around the frame was
Heed the
bubbled,
knocking,
as if moisture
the
lived
ritual is
inside the void.
spread.
The air here was cold, even with the AC off cold, but still wet. I walked the corridor for physical causes, leaks, warped flooring, mold, something my mind could fix with a plumber. Instead, I found ritual work tucked into scenes. Under the baseboard near 1313, a thin white string ran along the edge, like a vein sunshine. Ceremonial thread used in blessings and boundaries. Yuri was hidden, stapled in place with tiny rusty pins. In a corner by the fire cabinet, someone had sprinkled coarse salt in a deliberate cloth, not a spill. The grains were damp, clumped together, as if the hallway's humidity was trying to erase the lines slowly. Outside 1313, the carpet pile lay flattened in a rectangle the size of a body. Not a stain-named impression, as if something heavy had stood there for a long time, perfectly still, facing the door. I knelt and put my palm on the carpet. Cool, wet. When I lifted my hand, my skin held the smell of river mud. Back in my room, I checked the closet that had knocked the night before. Behind the suitcase rack, 3 thin red threads were tied under the one leg where the door might adjourn, knotted neatly binding wire, symbolic restraint. Then I noticed the mirror. The glass had a subtle waviness, like old window panes. In the lower corner sat a thumbprint shaped smudge that would not wipe away, no matter how hard I rubbed. When I leaned close, my reflection lagged behind me by
Your
a fraction.
path is clear.
Not enough to be obvious, enough to make my eyes burn, trying to reconcile it. In the mirror, the closet door was slightly open. In reality, it was closed. I turned toward the closet shut tight. No gap.
It can't be.
I turned back.
Look, the 13th.
Now my reflection was staring at the closet, even though I was looking at the mirror. Its eyes moving obediently, like it received my motions as a signal. And behind my reflection, where the closet should have been, there was a dull, red, glowing September light. It was milk黑米蛋, thick, sweet milk. There was no incense in my room. The smell was coming from the wall shared with 1313. A soft giggle followed brief, high and wrong, like laughter played from a damaged speaker. Not a child, a mimic of a child. Then the knock pattern returned through the pasta. 3 taps, pause, 1 tap, pause, 3 taps. No random. Ritual, a doorbell, an invitation. Modern buildings hide spaces the public never sees. Service corridors, maintenance landings, dead zones between designs. Anything the one superficially lines to live at. That afternoon, I got access to the CCTV room. Not official access. Human access the kind you get when a guard is tired and scared, wants someone else to carry the weight. He pulled up the 13th-floor camera and scrubbed through the night. At 1:13 a.m., the corridor was empty. At 1 hour 13 minutes and 13 seconds, the lights blinked dim,
veil thin,
and the image jumped.
the
Not
smoke.
digital noise, but a 1-inch shift, like the camera had been moved sideways in the dark. When the lights returned, the frame aligned again. I asked him to zoom on room 1313's handle. At 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 26 seconds, the handle rotated slowly, as if someone inside was testing it.
Accept our
No shadow
offerings
under the door,
and
no
grant us
movement to the door
passage.
itself. Just the handle turning, stopping, turning again, a little farther. He paused to the footage. In the metal of the handle, you could see the corridor reflected,
Weave
and
the
in that
threads,
reflection, behind the camera's
seal the
viewpoint,
path.
something stood in upright cement, like humidity on glass shaped into a body. It leaned toward the door as the handle turned, as if the handle was its mouth. The guard watched for the time where little man recorded. Then he showed me the elevator log. Every night, between 12:50 until 10 a.m., the elevator registered 时招 labeled F13, but the doors didn't open on any floor. I found him still an internal visit to a place the building didn't admit. At 1:05 a.m. the next night, I rode alone. I pressed 13. The button lit clean green. The elevator rose. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then the display went blank. No 13. Nothing. A dark rectangle like a missing tooth. The hum deepened. The lights flickered faster than the corridor's 13-second blink, irregular like a heartbeat fading. The air felt wetter, heavier, as if the shaft carried its own climate. The doors opened, not to a floor, to a corridor that shouldn't exist. The ceiling was lower, the wall was stained like a yellow. Old fluorescent tubes buzzed like insects. The tile was damp but invisible moisture, and my shoes squeaked softly with each step. Halfway down, a cruel train sat on the floor. A bowl of rice dried hard, a cup of water with a thin film. Incense burned down the black stalks.
Watch us now.
The ashes were fresh, but there was no smoke. Above it, someone had drawn a looping chalk symbol like a maze. When I leaned closer, the line seemed to shift, rearranging as if the maze had been watched.
Keep this house safe
Behind
from
me,
harm.
the elevator doors closed. I hadn't pressed anything. A soft voice called my name in my own tongue, careful and almost correct. Come. Then, from the wall beside me, 3 taps, pause, 1 tap, pause, 3 taps, like a guy knocking on wood to show the way. The air thickened, the corridor narrowed, and I realized this place wasn't missing. It was in, and it was waiting for me to call my steps. In cases like this, evidence isn't a clear face on camera. It's procedural. It shows up in systems and patterns, signatures, and the way building behaves like a mind. In the hidden corridor, the knock pattern 自到这里根. 3 taps, pause, 1 tap, pause, 3 taps, patient, insistent,
Your
offering to keep
presence
time for
is
me.
summoned.
My body wanted to answer,
The air
not from
here is
belief,
heavy.
but because the nervous
They
system
believe the
hates
effigy
unresolved
draws the
rhythm.
spirits through the maze,
It wants a closure.
especially
It
around
wants
the
to finish the
water.
phrase, so I refused to cooperate.
13. The
I broke my
door
own
is
rhythm.
sealed.
1 step
The
forward,
path
2 back.
revealed.
Shallow inhale, long hold, then go to sync with the lights. I became unpredictable.
13.
The corridor reacted
The
like a thing
path
losing
is
control. The fluorescent bars rose. The wet air thickened into a swallowing sound like pushing through paste. The tube made blood, then snapped into a new shape, lines rearranging, searching for a path that matched me. Then mimicry escalated. From behind me, I heard my own shoe until the exact squeak. The exact cadence approaching in short jumps like missing frames. The footsteps stopped when I stopped,
Proceeds.
started when I
The
thought about
calm
moving.
eyes observe.
A laugh came closer to my right ear.
13.
Not kind, not cruel. Performed like an actor reading the idea of laughter without fading it. I raised my phone to record the shrine and the chalk maze. Later, reviewing the footage, I saw what my eyes missed. The water-covered shrine held a reflection. Not of me, of a wooden hotel door with a brass plaque that read 1313. In the corridor, there are no doors. That's evidence item 1. Evidence item 2 is the audio. On my recorder, a voice says, clearly, don't match it. It sounds like me, but flatter, too certain, as if doubt and edged it out. Immediately after, 3 taps, answer, and beneath them, such a layer of breathing, too steady, too patient, as if along to an unbuildable panic. Evidence item 3 is the system log. The elevator's internal record shows a stop at 13, lasting exactly 13 minutes and 13 seconds. No coincidence. Signature. I reported what I had. A local liaison lesson with a neutral face announced me, gently, So leave. Not because he thought I was lying, because he didn't want me to be right. On my last night, I slept in the lobby under bright lights, waiting for people. I refused the 13th floor in China. At 1:13 a.m., the lobby fountain stopped me pull up. The water hung for a bit just long enough for my brain to register the impossibility then resumed as if nothing happened. The front desk phone rang once. No caller ID. The clerk answered, and his face drained of color. He held the receiver away from there and looked at me. From the receiver, I heard knocking. 3 times. Pause. 1 time. Pause. 3 times. Not on the door. On the other end of the line. That is the final rule. It doesn't need walls. It needs attention. It needs rhythm. It needs you to confirm it exists by responding. At dawn, the spirit house outside had fresh garlands and a new offering. A tiny brown ski hotel key style. Old, warm, number tag missing. As I stepped onto the street, my phone buzzed with one last notification. A device tried to connect me on the hotel Wi-Fi. Device name, room_1313. If you ever find yourself in a place that keeps the number, everyone avoids.
If you smell
Remember
incense
this.
where there is none,
Do not answer.
leave.
Do not count. And if you smell incense where there is none, leave.